And meanwhile, you're out there with your average lunatic in a leotard running around, you know. I'm just saying, I got my own sort of thing like that to deal with out here in the swamp, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah. I have been airing out my dirty laundry on the internet, so... Yeah. 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 I've heard. Yeah, I figured you had. You know, word's getting out, so to speak. Now look, Bruce, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, I just don't think it's quite time yet for, you and I to go teaming up together. Tackling the caseload. Yeah. 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 And I know things are getting pretty dodgy out there in Gotham, but, you'll figure it out. Yeah, you always do. Yeah, it's true. After all, the world's greatest detective. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know you got a pretty good eye for these things, I gotta tell you, You notice some details a lot of people overlook. It's very impressive, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Frankly, I wonder how you learned how to do that sort of thing, but we won't get into any of that now. No, we'll stick a pin in that and come back to that later, next time we have one of these get-togethers. But listen, on the subject of things getting a little, out of hand out there in Gotham, for what it's worth, maybe you might want to start looking around a little closer to home for some assistance in the streets. What do you have in mind? Well, I'm just saying, Bruce, I don't want to, spoil the surprise or anything, but, do a little snooping around, in the past, if you will, and, might just be, some weird little kid out there in the streets. Used to go running with the circus. Family, bunch of fucking weirdos in the circus. Trapeze artists and so forth. Very acrobatic. Seems that kind of thing is right up your alley. Yeah, that does sound right up my alley. I know it does. The kind of skill set might come in handy, doing your sort of thing with the stalking and the killing. I don't kill anybody. I know, of course not, but, And just FYI, I'm not the only casual observer who's made this observation before. So, there's that too. I don't like where this is going. I know, but we're going to touch on it anyway. I won't get too far into it, I'm just saying, it raises a lot of questions. If you think about it, Bruce, the last time you were after the Penguin, it was absolute mayhem. On the freeway, explosions and everything. You can't just go around causing all this kind of carnage for commuters, Well, it's after the Penguin. I know, that's kind of the point. That's what I'm getting to. So I couldn't help but notice, after a couple semis exploded, Penguin thinks he got away. He's cackling, and then he sees you in that car of yours just ripping through the flames. He says something about you being a psychopath. And I thought that was pretty funny. And then I thought, you might actually be onto something there. What are you trying to say? Well, I'm just saying, Bruce, you got that tenacity, and a little bit of that stalker thing going on. Yeah, I do like watching people. Yeah, I noticed. But I only watch the bad guys. Yeah, well, and I appreciate that too. Hell, so does most of Gotham, as far as I'm aware. And you're channeling that whole serial killer thing in a positive direction. Sort of. Yeah, frankly, it's very entertaining, too. So, there's that. All I'm saying is, might be a few little red flags popping up with the whole Cape Crusader operation that you got going on there, down in Gotham. And you're giving me that stink eye, Bruce, You gotta communicate with me. I don't know what you're thinking if you're not talking to me. We gotta get this back and forth thing going again. Yeah, all right. I know, this is, this is not a comfortable conversation. We're getting into the shit here a little bit, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. But anyway, as I was saying about that weird little kid running around the streets in Gotham. What's that all about? Well, I'm just saying, maybe if you were to happen upon him ahead of schedule, if you will. It might help things out in Gotham City. A little bit, anyway. Give you a little extra edge. I'll have to think about that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Well, it'll happen sooner or later, probably. And just in case, some kind of alias situation comes up and nothing overly inspirational comes to mind for the alias of any hypothetical co-conspirators to go running around with you. Are you with me, Bruce? I'm listening. Okay. No, I'm just saying, if you hit any brick walls like that or anything, let's just say you name them after some kind of bird or something. Just totally off the, it's totally out of left field here. We're just spitballing here. I'm just saying, if you were going to go and, call him something like Robin, well, why would I go calling anybody Robin? Well, I don't know. It's a good question. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. If something like that were going to end up playing out. I have no idea. We're just, this is all hypothetical, so to speak. But anyway, if you were going to call him something like that, you might want to make sure there's some kind of plausible explanation for it. Because, Batman and Robin, let's say, for example, just totally hypothetical. Yeah, that doesn't really sound very good. Well, it's got a good ring to it, Batman and Robin, sure, but kind of takes the edge off for the whole, Caped Crusader thing and the psychopath in the alleyways kind of thing. I'm not a psychopath. Oh, sure. I know that. And even if you were, like I said before, you seem to be channeling the whole serial killer thing in a positive way, I guess, sort of. All things considered. That's basically what it boils down to. I'm doing what I can on here. I know, and it's a dodgy situation out there in those streets in Gotham. I mean, Jesus, I thought things were a little dodgy out here in the swamps, and, they kind of are, frankly. But, you got some next-level shit going on in Gotham. From what I've seen, anyway. Yeah. So, I'm just saying, if you ever happen upon some weird little kid, in the streets or whatever, might fit this criteria, I'll say you just start getting all chummy with him and showing him the ropes with the whole psychopath thing. I'm not a psychopath. Yeah, of course not. But the whole vigilante thing, let's say. Showing him the ropes. Just saying, you might want to, think about that name a little bit. Or, if you come up with something like, Bird. Or Robin, for example. You just might make sure there's a good plausible explanation for it. And, make sure he's not wearing a leotard, either, That doesn't make any sense. I know. I mean, you're telling me. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all. But, is there any more information you can give me about this? I tell you what, I'll send you the dossier. I'll have it sent down to Wayne Manor. Get the secretary on it. I'll give you something to think about. When you're out, running around Gotham, out for blood. Who knows? Might just have some help coming out of nowhere. You saying you're gonna help? What? No, God, no. I'm not getting over there. You fucking crazy? Jesus, you take the whole lunatic thing to a whole new level. Besides, take one look at me. Yeah, there's that. I know. People, they see us running around together. They're going to take one look at me and think, this guy might be some kind of liability. Yeah, you do kind of got that going on. No, you don't got to tell me. Rumor has it, I also tend to stand out in a crowd. I like to keep a low profile, but, this is what I'm told. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I know, but you keep it under wraps really well. It's very impressive. You come out of nowhere, scaring the shit out of people. It's very entertaining. Oh, thank you. You've earned it. But anyway, we'll talk later and get this whole back and forth thing going again. Bruce, I appreciate you coming down. I appreciate this whole back and forth thing we got going on. It's Yeah. So, we'll talk later. All right, we'll talk later. All right. And for crying out loud, like and subscribe. Leave a commentary in the commentarium below. Come on. We all know the drill around here. Help me out. For crying out loud.